Sosa liked that pitch. Crushed. I think that's the best thing that could have happened to this team, to be the away team and get a chance to score first. They needed a big two-out hit. I would say that qualifies. Sosa delivers. Justin DeCricio's turn. A first pitch breaking ball snaps in for strike one. Again, Coach Avent made a number of changes to his lineup. One of them was flip-flopping Sosa and DeCricio. DeCricio takes down and away, 1-1 on the shortstop. The D1 Baseball called the best defensive player in this regional, looking to extend this inning with his bat here. And a hanging breaking ball, he pops it up, foul ground, looking to reach the seats down the first base line, and it does. That's the NC State side, is the away team. It's a familiar view for this team. At least they're used to being in the first base dugout when they're at home, right? So all the Wolfpack fans that are here that have made the trip down to Auburn, a lot of red down that first base seating. DeCricio with a check swing pop-up just behind first base, and the catch will be made by Bo Jaworski to end the inning. A highlight reel catch to start in center. Ty Head just missed a home run. Alex Sosa didn't miss any bit of the baseball that he hit over the batter's eye to straightaway center field to make it 2-0 Wolfpack. They give Ryan Marone an early lead. The sophomore southpaw going to work when we return with the bottom of the first. You're listening to Wolfpack Baseball from Learfield.
Hey, Pack fans, did you know over the past decade, Rebels Turf and Tractor and John Deere have provided turf equipment to maintain the sports fields at NC State? They're pleased to feature new and pre-owned golf and sports turf maintenance equipment. Rebels Turf and Tractor has a location in Myrtle Beach and their home base in Fuquay Varina or rebelstractor.com. You're now able to provide the same field conditions that the Pack plays on each week with the help of Rebels Turf and Tractor. Rebels Turf and Tractor is proud to support Wolfpack Athletics.
Amedio's has been serving homemade Italian food in the Triangle since 1963. At Amedio's, they use authentic family recipes and fresh ingredients to make classics such as lasagna or oven-baked pizza. Amedio's has a true NC State atmosphere with autographs and memorabilia covering their walls. Amedio's Family Restaurant is a proud supporter of NC State baseball.
John Deere equipment from Rebels Turf and Tractor helps keep the playing field at Doak Field maintained for the Wolfpack in Fuquay, Varina, or Myrtle Beach. Rebels Turf and Tractor is the source for turf equipment, John Deere tractors, and more. Just the start NC State was looking for after falling behind in a blink 7-0 yesterday. Got a 2-out, 2-run homer from Alex Sosa to try to set the tone here in Game 2 of the regional, but potentially the last game of the regional. It will be for one of these teams. It's an elimination game. And how do these teams handle the pressure of that season on the line? For some teams, it brings out their best. For others, that pressure can be overwhelming. Ryan Marone staked to a 2-0 lead. The sophomore left-hander, 7-3 on the year with a 3.72 ERA, making his 14th start of the season. We haven't seen him since the Stanford series. As he pounds the strike zone, quickly getting ahead of the leadoff man, the shortstop, the appropriately named Brady Short. Had a great year last year, hit 388, not quite to that level this year, but still 331. Goes off speed on the second offering, and it's 1-1. By the way, 331 is what these Blue Devils hit as a team coming into this regional. Nearly 9 runs per game. This is a team that got maybe more pitching than they were expecting at the beginning of the year from Drew Munn, who went 6 innings last night against Auburn, as this ball's drilled by short, deep right center field. Fraseman running over, and he makes the catch just in front of the track. It blows out here at Plainsman Park, and both the flags atop War Eagle wall in left and the American flag, the big American flag that's out in right center field, which is just behind where Fraseman tracked that ball down. Every flag I can see at the ballpark is blowing out. And I was told by Auburn broadcaster Andy Bertram that is standard here. So not only is it a hitter-friendly park in terms of distances, but it plays maybe even a little smaller than the distances are. Swing and a miss by 2-hole hitter Jackson Haker. The DH getting the start, one change for the Blue Devils. With a lefty on the mound, Haker is a righty, takes that bat off of his shoulder and swings. It's a foul. Quickly 0-2 for Marone, which Wolfpack fans by now, you know, when Marone is on, he likes to pitch with tempo. He likes to work quickly. As soon as Haker gets in the box, Marone is ready with his windup. The pitch is fouled off of Haker's body. Still 0-2. Senior, listed as an infielder, but again, he's the DH today. Last night's DH was Colby Brulette, who had 3 hits and drove in a pair. They plug him right into the 2-hole. As Haker swings and misses at a breaking ball in the dirt. Sosa snaps it up and slaps down a tag before Haker can make his way to first base. So a pretty loud fly out for out number 1, and Marone with a strikeout for out number 2. 2-0 Wolfpack on the strength of an Alex Sosa home run. Here we are in the bottom of the first. Now, sometimes we were talking yesterday about, as a hitter, when you get down big, you don't want to try to do too much, as Marone starts with strike 1 to the nation's leading hitter, Aiden Redahan. He's batting .459. You heard me correctly. .459. Fastball, strike 2. Well, if you're facing the nation's top hitter, it's tough to have success, but starting 0-2 is at least a good start. The left-on-left matchup here. An open stance for Redahan as he looks at strike 3. A painted fastball on the outside corner. Marone goes 3 up, 3 down in the first with a pair of strikeouts. 2-0 Wolfpack through 1 from Learfield.
Together. That's how we stay in the game, ready to play. As one team, UNC Health is keeping you well with renewed focus and approach to care services for you and your family. UNC Health, official healthcare provider of NC State Athletics. Learn more at unchealth.org/sports. Again, that's unchealth.org/sports.
Serving the Raleigh area since the year 2000, Sammy's is a proud NC State tradition. They have great food and a fun atmosphere and are known for their beer selections. Capable of hosting large parties or watching the game with your friends, Sammy's is a great choice for all. They're located between NC State University's main and Centennial campuses on Avon Ferry Road at the Mission Valley Shopping Center.
Caterpillar and NC State are proud to honor NC State student-athletes for excellence on and off the field. Today's Cat Scholar athlete of the game is Wesley Larson, a senior on the track and field team from Matthews, North Carolina, studying civil engineering. Caterpillar and NC State congratulate Wesley Larson and all the other NC State Scholar athletes for their hard work and dedication to excellence. An excellent start here on the Plains in Auburn, Alabama. NC State with a 2-0 lead through 1 inning, and Luke Nixon going to lead off here in the second. No longer the leadoff hitter, but hey, they're just fine with him leading off the second inning. It'll be Nixon and Novi and Fraseman. Novi homered yesterday, and Fraseman hit a couple of balls hard as well. He had a hit as Nixon tries to bunt his way on, sneaking it towards third, and a good throw on the run will throw him out. Chris Brown, the third baseman, I believe he can run it. And he did, charging that bunted ball and throwing out the speedster Nixon. It was a good bunt. I thought Brown got his work in early. Yes, he completed all facets of the play, but he got a good jump. Normally you talk about an outfielder getting a good jump. He recognized the bunt and got a good jump. Brandon Novy looks at strike one. He stays in the lineup, one coming off the home run yesterday, no doubter to deep left center field. As a slider bounces into the left-handed batter's box, 1-1 on the big freshman DH. He also walked, a 1-for-3 effort. The other thing is, Matt Ossenfort, you think he might be, and he has been starting at DH against right-handed pitchers like Vincent Borghese. He is unavailable for this regional as Novy takes downstairs for ball two. Unfortunately, he was injured in practice. He is in concussion protocol, so Ossenfort out at DH, and Novy will stay in that spot whether it's against a right or left-handed starter. In this case, a righty, and Borghese falls behind him 3-1. Hitters count. The pitch to Novy. Check swing. It was a glove strike anyways. And it was a fastball. I'm a bit surprised. You're thinking Novy in 3-1. You get a fastball and swing out of your shoes, but he had about a 55% swing there. Now the payoff pitch. Back to a fastball and a chop to short. Gloved by Short, and he will throw out Novy. That's Brady Short, the shortstop, who got a nice high hop. And Borghese, trying to settle into this game, has retired his first two batters here at inning number 2. It's 2-0 Wolfpack. They got a 2-out home run from Alex Sosa in the first. Freisman in yesterday's game, he had a single. He also had a line out to short. So a good sign for him as he takes breaking ball strike one. He had been in a 3-for-30 slump, so easy math there. He was batting 100 over that stretch. Swings and misses strike two. But I think a positive sign to see him hit not one but two balls on the nose. And, you know, he's batting 8th again for the second straight game. Maybe that will help him. Behind 0-2 quickly. He takes about a 55-foot pitch for a ball. That one almost hit the lip of the grass in front of home plate. I mean, that was nowhere close. If Freisman can reach Ryder Woodson, for those of you that missed it, he's the starting third baseman today. Freshman batting 9th. He'll come up. Freisman lays off a slider away. 2-2. You know, this offense, which has added struggles down the stretch, much better when guys like Sosa and Freisman are hitting. And a sword ends the inning. And Borghese threw one in the dirt that was not convincing for Freisman earlier, but this one much more competitive, and it finished just behind home plate. And Freisman tried to hold up, but could not. He strikes out swinging to end the second, and Borghese goes 1-2-3. Our score through 1.5 innings, 2-0 Wolfpack. Ryan Marone worked a 1-2-3 first with 2 strikeouts. He's back to work. When we return, you are listening to Wolfpack Baseball from Learfield.
Hey, Wolfpack fans, Bojangles is ready for game day. Bojangles, proud sponsor of Wolfpack Baseball, is home of the tailgate meal. 8 pieces of seasoned Cajun fried chicken, 2 picnic-sized fixins, 4 made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuits, and a half a gallon of Bojangles iced tea. Whether it's before or after the game, baseball and Bojangles, a Wolfpack tradition.
Hey, Pack fans, did you know over the past decade, Rebels Turf and Tractor and John Deere have provided turf equipment to maintain the sports fields at NC State? They're pleased to feature new and pre-owned golf and sports turf maintenance equipment. Rebels Turf and Tractor has a location in Myrtle Beach and their home base in Fuquay Varina or revelstractor.com. You're now able to provide the same field conditions that the Pack plays on each week with the help of Rebels Turf and Tractor. Rebels Turf and Tractor is proud to support Wolfpack Athletics.
NC State leads Central Connecticut State 2-0 in the bottom of the second inning. Zach Burhan's back inside the Learfield Network studios, updating you around the Elimination Day in regionals. In the bottom of the 8th inning, Northeastern leads Bethune-Cookman 2-1 in the Tallahassee Regional. An ACC team is in action, and Wake Forest is handing Miami of Ohio. It's 13-7 in the bottom of the 7th. Going to the top of the 4th in Oxford, it's Ole Miss leading Western Kentucky 4-3. So we head back to the ballpark. Here's Andrew Sanders.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Zach, for the scoreboard update. Certainly scoreboard watching while calling this elimination game. It's 2-0 Wolfpack here in the bottom of the second. Ryan Marone doesn't miss by much. We missed just one pitch to start the inning. And Marone there, I thought he fired a strike. Andrew Fulton is our home plate umpire. He thought otherwise. Just missing with the fastball. It's quickly 2-0 on Chris Brown, the third baseman, who hacks it foul. Just over the netting and off the facade of the overhang here in Auburn. NC State fans, I mentioned earlier, the Wolfpack are in the first base dugout, so all the Wolfpack fans are in those green chairbacks behind the first base dugout. And it's the shady side here as Marone pops the mid of Sosa, but it's high for ball 3. So all of those seats covered, which as the temperatures get into the low 80s and the sun beating down, it's nice to have some shade there. Good spot to watch the game as Brown grounds it, backhanded in the hole. It's short by DeCrisio, but his throw doesn't have enough juice on it to get Brown, who was hustling. He was smelling a hit out of the box. Good play by DeCrisio to backhand it deep in the hole. But Chris Brown will have an infield single, and it is a leadoff hit here in the second. It is the first hit for Central Connecticut State. Starts with a strike to Bo Jaworski, senior from Brooklyn. He went 0 for last night, but stays in the 5-hole. He's still a 300 hitter on the year. Left on left here with the Jaworski. Marone throws over to first, and back in standing up is Chris Brown. Not a huge base stealing team is Central Connecticut State. They're capable, 67 for 73 on the year. So 67 stolen bags, quite a bit more than NC State's 28. Jaworski looks at a strike. 0-2. Brown is 8 for 9 on the year, so been pretty good at it. Marone controls the run game very well. Not the kind of base stealing team that Stetson is. An adequate lead for Brown as Marone's breaking ball zips in a little low. I was mentioning before Marone struck out Aiden Redahan, the nation's leader in hitting, to end the first. I was mentioning how, as a hitter, you don't want to try to do too much. Same for Marone on the mound. Soft line drive snared by Woodson. He'll have no play as Brown did not stray far from first base. Weak contact off the end of the bat. Jaworski softly lines out to the new third baseman. Woodson making just his third start of his career. It comes in a win-or-go-home postseason game. We saw Ryan Jaros replace Matt Hefner when NC State got down early and looking for more offense. And I think Coach Avent, look, Woodson can play shortstop, an elite athlete. Foul ball here on the first offering to Gianno Merlonghi. Right-handed batting right fielder, 6-hole hitter. But with Woodson, yes, he's young, but, everybody in high school that plays D1, it feels like plays shortstop, but Woodson's a guy that can play it at this level. as Marone misses down and in for ball one. So while you are losing a little experience at third, you have certainly some athleticism and some ability to play with the glove. And you see if things click for Woodson. He might get another chance here. No, foul ball. Had some English on it off the bat of Merlongi. Corkscrewing its way foul. Woodson retrieves it in foul ground and tosses it to the Blue Devils dugout on the third base side. And yeah, it's a small sample size, but Ryder Woodson is hitting .312 this year. It is 5 hits and 16 at-bats, but it is .312. 1-2 pitch. Woodson, the ground ball. He'll take the short route to second. Can they turn two? Oh, you bet they can. 5-4-3 around the diamond. Woodson starts it, and Nixon turns it to first. A double play, and a pitcher's best friend ends the second. After an infield hit started the inning, Marone gets another ground ball and finishes it. 2-0 Wolfpack through 2. You're listening to Pack Baseball from Learfield.
Thousands of our teammates make and deliver 300 of Coca-Cola's brands and flavors locally. From the heartland to the coast, in big cities and small towns, our products are moving and our trucks are rolling. We share a purpose, and we love to refresh and serve our communities. We are Coca-Cola Consolidated, your local bottler.
At J. Alexander's, every meal brings people together with a focus on food and hospitality. Each aspect, from wood-fired steaks to handcrafted cocktails, is prepared to shape the dining experience. J. Alexander's in Raleigh is a space where friends meet, flavors are enjoyed, and every meal becomes an occasion. Located behind the Crabtree Mall at 4600 Crabtree Valley Avenue.
Caterpillar is a proud sponsor of NC State Athletics and the Wolfpack Women platform that recognizes, celebrates, and empowers the strength of our Wolfpack Women's athletic family. More information about the platform is available at wolfpackwomen.org. Thank you, Caterpillar, for your continued support of NC State Athletics. NC State offense giving Ryan Marone some run support. A 2-run home run. Estimated 430-foot home run to straightaway center field by Alex Sosa. Made it 2-0. That's our score. Here in the top of the third, and Ryder Woodson just started a double play. Getting his third start of his career. Number 3, Woodson. It's the number he wears. He will lead off this third inning, so 3's wild here. His third start, he wears number 3. Inning number 3. Can he maybe give NC State its third run? Strike over the outer third. 3 is a magic number, I think, Schoolhouse Rock said. One and one to Woodson, and a breaking ball parried foul off the netting into the on-deck circle where his freshman teammate Ty Head awaits. So NC State has something in this game that it did not have at any point yesterday, a lead, looking to add to it. Meanwhile, Vincent Borghese, the right-hander, he'll go as long as he can go today. Again, coming off 218 pitches last weekend. Breaking ball puts away Woodson, and a sharp one. So a swing and a miss, and it's back-to-back strikeouts for Borghese, bookending the end of the second and the start of the third. So one time through the order, couple of strikeouts, 1 walk for him, and the gopher ball allowed to Alex Sosa. So again, Central Connecticut State, they're going to throw him as long as he can go, and then go to the tournament MVP of the NEC, Wyatt Cameron. Ball 1 bounces off the plate to Ty Head. Now, your guess is as good as mine. You know, Borghese has been the ace. The question, after you throw that many pitches the week prior, breaking ball bounces in, ball 2. Obviously, they didn't want to bring him back on short rest after that kind of a workload, so that's why he didn't start last night. But on mean, he's still technically on shorter rest. Ball 3 sails high and wide to Head because he pitched Sunday night. And then, here we are on last day in May. 3-0 to Head. He'll be taking here, and he does take a strike. Just a beautiful Saturday on the Plains. Ty Head just missed a home run to right center field in his first at bat. See if he can put a good swing on a 3-1 pitch. Here it is. Fastball. Oh, Head was starting to walk to first base, but it's called strike 2 by home plate umpire Andrew Fulton. Mark Hutchison is at first. Eric Gaucher at second. David Ewell, who was on the plate yesterday for the Wolfpack game, he's at third. 3-2, and Head puts bat on ball. Just a lazy fly ball right at Merlongi in his glove for out number 2. So since the Alex Sosa home run, Borghese has retired 6 straight. Hogue trying to break that streak here. The Wolfpack 2-hole hitter who homered yesterday to right center field. And this is what aces do, is even when they give up some runs early, typically they're going to settle in. Borghese trying to do that. See if Hogue can make him work a little harder here. He swings at the first pitch and taps it foul. But your guess is as good as mine about Borghese. How sharp will he be today? I don't know. I haven't called many games where the opposing pitcher, or certainly not the NC State pitcher, never seen that, had thrown 200-plus pitches the prior weekend. How do you feel after that? Hogue smashes one into right center field. It'll drop for a base hit. Kyle Gordon cuts it off in the gap. Hogue claps his hands as he's on first base here with 2 out. So a walk and a single for Hogue, his day so far. And again with Borghese, what is his pitch count today? I'm not sure. I was talking to some of the Blue Devil people here today, and look, Drew Munn went 6 innings. He threw 122 pitches yesterday. He ended up getting through 6 innings. He had thrown 102 pitches through 4. They had nobody up in the pen. Breaking ball away, ball 1. Now, some of that was they had tied the game at 4, and then the lead had gotten extended for Auburn, 9-4. And at that point, they basically told Munn, hey, we just need you to eat some more innings. And he did. He got through the 5th and the 6th on just 20 pitches as they check on Hogue, who dives back into the bag. Gets a little dirt on the all-gray uniform. NC State, the road team, and able to jump out to a top of the first inning lead. We're in the top of the 3rd here, looking for another little 2-out rally. McHugh at the plate, and he swings at the 1-0 pitch and scorches it by Coach Hart at third base foul. NC State has hit a few balls hard today. The one Head hit to lead off. Certainly the one Alex Sosa hit an estimated 430 feet over the batter's eye in center to make it 2-0. That one, McHugh found the barrel, but he was out in front. Ball and a strike on the big first baseman. He swings and misses at a breaking ball. Hogue is in a delayed steal, and they have got him out at second base. The grad student catcher, Matt Falk, who will bat in the next inning, throws out Hogue. And NC State's 3rd inning is done, but hold on. Hold on. A late challenge. The umpires are calling the Blue Devils back onto the field. So I almost threw to commercial break, but we're going to have a challenge here. Now, if this call is overturned, again, the call in the field is out at second base for Hogue trying to steal it. If the call's overturned, it was strike 2 on McHugh. He's in a 1-2 count.
The ruling on the field is that the runner is out. NC State is challenging that ruling. The play is under further review.
All right, so you heard home plate umpire Andrew Fulton. I love that they have the umpires mic'd up. It's something that we've had for years and years in football. I'm getting my first look at the review, and Hogue's safe. He's in there. This is a good challenge. This will be overturned, I think, just from one look. Now I'm getting another angle, and again, yes, Hogue got his left hand in, and honestly, maybe his right hand in too, before the tag was applied. Second base umpire Eric Gaucher had the call. And to be fair, and look, he's closer than I was, but now does Hogue keep his fingers on the base? Yeah, he does. Never left it. This should be a pretty quick review and an overturn, and it will be a 2-strike count on McHugh, but it will extend the inning. And keep in mind, Borghese's out there trying to stay loose. And if you're McHugh, kind of patiently wait and watch him throw his warm-up pitches, of which he's continuing to do so. And you're going to have a runner in scoring position. Now, the umpires don't disappear to a replay room for the postseason. They just go to the dugout, to the side of the dugout. They put on headsets and they hear from the control room what the call is. Here it is.
After further review, the ruling on the field is overturned. The runner is safe. NC State retains that challenge. They have 2 remaining.
So, you hear David Ewell tell you, retaining the challenge, call is overturned, Hogue is safe, and you have 2 challenges remaining, and now you got a man in scoring position, albeit with a 1-2 count on McHugh. Taps his bat on home plate and gets into his ready position. So Borghese not out of this inning yet. He looks at Hogue from the stretch and comes home with it. Down and away, ball 2. So good challenge. Again, in football for years, right, we've had the officials mic'd up. Recently in basketball, we've added that, and this is a great component. I love it just for clarity. Because sometimes we as broadcasters, we're trying our best, but sometimes you're not exactly sure. McHugh strikes out swinging on that good slider. Borghese's had that pitch sharp today, and in the end, the challenge does extend the inning, but Borghese, just 2 pitches later, promptly ends that inning. He's got 3 strikeouts. Hogue with a 2-out base hit and a stolen base to make him work a little harder in the third, but still no runs on the 1 hit, no errors, and a man left stranded in scoring position. We played 2.5 here in this elimination game. It is 2-0 Wolfpack. You're listening to NC State Baseball on the radio from Learfield.
Hey, Wolfpack fans! Bojangles is ready for game day. Bojangles, proud sponsor of Wolfpack Baseball, is home of the tailgate meal. 8 pieces of seasoned Cajun fried chicken, 2 picnic-sized fixins, 4 made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuits, and a half a gallon of Bojangles iced tea. Whether it's before or after the game, baseball and Bojangles, a Wolfpack tradition.
Together. That's how we stay in the game, ready to play. As one team, UNC Health is keeping you well with renewed focus and approach to care services for you and your family. UNC Health, official healthcare provider of NC State Athletics. Learn more at unchealth.org/sports. Again, that's unchealth.org/sports.
Woodpack NIL Collective is a proud sponsor of NC State Athletics and NC State Baseball. Woodpack NIL Collective is online at onepacknil.com with more information to support NC State student athletes. The Wolfpack 2, the Blue Devils nothing. By name, Wolfpack and Blue Devils, that's an old rivalry. We've seen a few of those before, but this is the first ever meeting between the Wolfpack and these Blue Devils. From Central Connecticut State, from New Britain, Connecticut, which is just outside of Hartford, Connecticut. Ryan Marone begins his 3rd inning with a strike. He gave up a hit in the second, but a double play means that he has still faced the minimum. So it'll be 7, 8, 9 due up for the Blue Devils. Ducatelli socks it into center field on a 1-hop before it gets into the glove of Ty Head. Antonio Ducatelli in a left-on-left matchup with the best piece of hitting so far. The first hit was an infield hit. But Ducatelli found a barrel again. This Blue Devils team does that a lot. Ducatelli, the 7-hole hitter, batting .348 on the year. Now here comes Kyle Gordon, who's batting .383. And while he hasn't played as many games as the rest in this lineup, this is his 24th start of the year. I mean, it's 31 hits. It's not exactly a minuscule sample size for .383. He takes ball one inside. Marone from the stretch, and he's got him picked off. McHugh running at Ducatelli, tosses to DeCrisio. They got him in a pickle. Now to Marone trying to win the race, and he does. Marone steps on the gas and slaps a tag on the back of Ducatelli. And he's still faced the minimum after picking off the base runner. Ryan Marone with the best pickoff move on the team. And you know what? He showed off the athleticism there. Ducatelli had a head start, and Marone, the acceleration. Sometimes position players give pitchers a hard time. They say pitchers aren't athletes. Pitchers are absolutely athletes. It's just to throw a baseball, 93 miles an hour like Ryan Marone does, and to repeat the motion, that takes a lot of athleticism. But we saw some wheels from Marone right there. He quickly falls behind 3-0. He might be gassed just a little bit. Not like he's out of gas, but the cardio there might need to catch his breath here. He quickly falls behind 3-0. To Kyle Gordon, the center fielder. He goes to the back of the mound and takes a deep breath before his 3-0, and that's right down Hillsborough Street for a strike. Three and one now. Back from the windup with the bases empty, and he pours in a fastball for strike two. But yeah, Central Connecticut State, New Britain, Connecticut, just outside of Hartford. I am told that every once in a while they play UConn in football. More on that in a moment. The 3-2 pitch. Hit on the ground on two hops, gloved by McHugh. He'll take it himself. He waves off Marone. He says, you already got your steps in this inning. I'll handle it. 3 unassisted for the second out. Let's see, that pickoff was officially 1-3 to 6-1. For those of you scoring at home, and I know many of you are. So 2 out, nobody on for Matt Falk, the catcher, the grad student catcher, who we thought initially threw out Josh Hogue last inning, but he was overturned and called safe. Falk lashes at the first pitch and comes up empty on a good breaking ball. 2-0 Wolfpack here, bottom of the third. 2 out, nobody on, and an 0-1 count on the 9-hole hitting catcher. But the Blue Devils play UConn in football every so often, and they are actually, as their strike 2 from Marone, they are actually closer, I'm told, to UConn's football stadium than UConn is. How about that? 0-2, down and in for a ball. I mean, we know we're kind of spoiled in the triangle, right? We have some teams that are close together, and but it's not a closer trip to, Kenan Stadium or Wallace Wade. Fastball inside, didn't miss by a ton. Ball 2. But that is kind of a unique oddity. So Central Connecticut State, it's like, absolutely, we'll meet you there. We won't just meet you there, we'll beat you there. Start up the bus. Falk from infield, Connecticut. 2-2 pitch. Froze him. Breaking ball. Called strike 3. Ryan Marone has faced the minimum through 3 despite giving up 2 hits. A double play and a pickoff. And one time through the order, he has struck out 3 Blue Devils. Through 3 innings. 2-0 NC State. Alex Sosa, who homered in his last trip, he'll lead off the 4th. You don't want to miss it. That's coming up in just a minute. Wolfpack Baseball here from Learfield.
Hey, Pack fans, did you know over the past decade, Rebels Turf and Tractor and John Deere have provided turf equipment to maintain the sports fields at NC State? They're pleased to feature new and pre-owned golf and sports turf maintenance equipment. Rebels Turf and Tractor has a location in Myrtle Beach and their home base in Fuquay Varina or revelstractor.com. You're now able to provide the same field conditions that the Pack plays on each week with the help of Rebels Turf and Tractor. Rebels Turf and Tractor is proud to support Wolfpack Athletics.
Hey, Wolfpack fans! Bojangles is ready for game day. Bojangles, proud sponsor of Wolfpack Baseball, is home of the tailgate meal. 8 pieces of seasoned Cajun fried chicken, 2 picnic-sized fixins, 4 made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuits, and a half a gallon of Bojangles iced tea. Whether it's before or after the game, baseball and Bojangles, a Wolfpack tradition.
Caterpillar and NC State are proud to honor NC State student-athletes for excellence on and off the field. Today's Cat Scholar athlete of the game is Wesley Larson. A senior on the track and field team from Matthews, North Carolina, Wesley is studying civil engineering. Caterpillar and NC State congratulate Wesley Larson and all the other NC State Scholar athletes for their hard work and dedication to excellence. Alex Sosa has made the difference in this game so far. His 2-out, 2-run homer accounts for all the scoring. A 430-foot home run, 2-0 Wolfpack here, top of the fourth. He leads off by looking at strike one. Good to see him get going. Could say he was due, and yeah, sometimes you move a guy down in the order when they're struggling. In this case, Coach Avent goes with the opposite, and sometimes that works too, as Sosa takes a breaking ball down for a ball. Hey, you're in the cleanup spot. You know, a little more responsibility, rise to the occasion. And through one at bat so far, he has definitely done that. Just a no-doubt home run to center field. 1-1 wide of the plate, 2-1. Again, it's a smaller ballpark, and it does fly out, but yeah, he got every bit of it. I love a ballpark with some oddities, and this one has a lot around the wall. Ball 3 to Sosa. You've got a Green Monster replica, War Eagle wall in left. It's 37 feet tall. It's 315 down the left field line, but it's 335 to left center. I mean, it could get out in a hurry to left. Sosa draws a 5-pitch walk, a non-competitive fastball up at his eye level. Got the leadoff man aboard here in the fourth. NC State looking to give Ryan Marone a little more cushion. Marone has been awfully good today so far. I was talking about how if you're Marone, you don't want to try to do too much. He knows that this team, and the reality is, you have to win this game first. Let's start there. But you have to win 4 games in 3 days. And so when you think about how many outs that is to get, they're going to need a deep quality start from Marone today, likely. Bunt attempt for DeCrisio. He bunts the first pitch foul. 2-0 Wolfpack, top 4. Now also, when you're talking about outs, the more runs the offense can score, they can kind of lighten the load a bit. There's no run rule, so you can't save your pitching outs from run rule like you could in the regular season. None of that in the NCAA tournament as DeCrisio smokes it into center field. That's a base hit. Sosa will turn second and stop there. A walk and a single. And NC State in business here in the fourth. We saw DeCrisio go 3 for 3 against Clemson. He did not have a hit yesterday. But back in the hit column here as he takes off his batting gloves and tucks it into his back left pocket. Sosa on second, DeCrisio on first. Luke Nixon at the bat. Ball 1 up. He showed bunt but took it away. Luke tried to bunt in his first trip and laid down, I would say, a very good but not great bunt. And a great defensive effort from Chris Brown at third base threw him out. Brown is on the infield grass here, creeping up. Let's see if Nixon squares. He does, but he pulls it away, ball 2. And so that tells me that this is basically on Nixon. He's peering intently at Coach Hart, who goes through all the signs. But he is not completely giving himself up to sacrifice. It's, hey, bunt it if you can. But now 2-0, he'll be looking to swing. And does. He lifts a lazy fly ball that's tailing foul. It will land in foul ground. Just a strike 1 on Luke Nixon. It's a long uphill climb coming out of the loser's bracket of a regional. I was talking about this yesterday in the postgame, though. There is a slight advantage. If you're going to lose a game, I do think there's a slight advantage to lose the first one instead of the second one. 2-1, tries to bunt it and bunts it foul. And that was, again, not a true sacrifice. That's Nixon trying to bunt one for a hit. And that's a little harder to do. Got to be a little more direct and delicate. 2 on, nobody out. Now a 2-2 count, and Nixon surely will not be bunting. Chris Brown backs up. Nixon goes down swinging. And that's where they trust him enough that it's not a true sacrifice. They're fine with him trying to bunt for a hit and then eventually trusting that he can swing the bat. But Luke's frustrated with himself as he makes his way into the dugout, looking to at least get those runners over. And Nixon really not a double play candidate, right? So even a ground ball, you think he probably beats it out. But he is the first out, and now it's Novi's turn, the freshman DH. He swings to the first pitch and swings through that slider that has been really good for Borghese so far. He's got 4 strikeouts to just 1 walk. From the stretch, he comes home with it. In the dirt, blocked up by Falk, the catcher. When I say it's awfully tough to come out of the loser's bracket, the team, I should say, only 7% of teams in a regional that have lost their first game have gone on to win their regional. Only 7%. Falk is maybe got something in his eye or maybe lost a contact. Yep. Trainer's out and has got the... got the eye wash out, and yeah, getting a look at the replay, Falk blocked that ball up really with his left bicep, but that's not what the trainer was looking at. I think he got some dirt in his eye. Get the contact solution in there, spray that out, and he's ready to go. We're ready for the 1-1 pitch to Novi, and it gets through the legs of Falk. Karam's off the brick wall, right back to him, but both runners able to advance. Sosa to third, and DeCrisio to second. So Nixon could not get the runners over, but the wild pitch does. Right through the wickets there of Falk. Now keep in mind, there's only 40 feet between home plate and the backstop. Sosa has to be aware of that. 2-1 to Novi, bouncing it in as Borghese way in front of home plate, and Falk able to get his chest protector on it to keep it in front. It's one thing to go second to first to second, or second to third on a Karam off the backstop. But keep in mind, it's 40 feet away, and it's brick. It kicked right back. Sosa could not have scored on that if he was at third. Novi hits it hard on the ground to shortstop. DeCrisio's going to get in a rundown. He's in between. He puts his head down, and the ball's dropped at third, and it goes into the Central Connecticut State dugout. Sosa had already scored, and now DeCrisio, who looked to be out in a rundown, instead will score. And they're going to give Novi third base. Wow, a costly error for Central Connecticut State. Sosa was going to score regardless. It's 3-0 Wolfpack. But it looked like DeCrisio on a ball that was hit just in front of him. And you played any amount of baseball, you know if the ball's behind you, you go to third. If it's in front of you, you have to go back. Well, DeCrisio, it was in front of him, but he took a couple steps and froze and realized, uh-oh, I'm too far away from second. So he did the next best thing, which is just put your head down and try to get to third. The shortstop, Brady Short, threw to third base, and in the slide, here's the umpires. Well, let's see if he turns his mic on. No, we still can't hear David Ewell. Hold on. Yeah, the microphone is not on a max volume here. They are going to put Novi on second base. Okay, I was going to say I did not understand how he was going to be given third, but I wasn't going to complain about it. Novi was going to be on first regardless. DeCrisio froze and then put his head down again. Sosa was going to score. Novi was going to be on first, but Central Connecticut State got no outs as DeCrisio went diving in. And not only did DeCrisio dislodge the ball from Chris Brown, he dislodged his whole glove in his slide. And so the glove went flying into foul ground. The ball went flying on the ground into the dugout. And so DeCrisio not only safe at third, but he scored. So now 4-0. He and Novi given that extra base. Frazeman's turn. Ball one below his knees. The teams in this regional are very good defensively. The Blue Devils, by fielding percentage, are the worst of the four, but it's a good defensive regional. All four teams, really. The Blue Devils field .968 as Frazeman takes a strike, which .970 is usually the target. .975 is really, really good for college baseball, and anything .980 or above is some of the best in the country, elite. Frazeman hits a ground ball to short, and he'll be thrown out by Brady Short. Novi got a better read and got ahead of that baseball and was able to go from second to third. It is the second out of the inning. So we'll see how they score that officially. It should be a fielder's choice for Novi and then an error as well. That is indeed how they scored it. They do give him an RBI because, again, Sosa was going to score either way. Woodson swings at the first pitch and misses. Strike one. So fielder's choice, E6. He's now on third. A bouncing ball blocked up by Falk. Ball one. By the way, Falk has an incredible story. I was going to talk about it the next time he comes to bat. He actually ended the last inning striking out looking. A grad student, he played D3 ball, but had transitioned to just normal life outside of ball. He did have a year of eligibility, obviously. As Woodson hits a high fly ball, deep left field. Ryder Woodson clears War Eagle wall. A mammoth two-run home run to left center field. In just his third career start, it comes in an elimination game. What better time for your first career home run? Oh my, 6-0 NC State. Got a hanging breaking ball and did not miss it. And he knew it. He was getting out of the box quickly. I wouldn't say he looked to admire it for a long time, but he did give it just a little subtle bat flip there at the end. He knew. Again, Coach Avent shaking up his lineup, and he gives Ryder Woodson a surprise start. This is game number 54 for NC State. It's the third start of the year for Ryder Woodson. Talk about stepping up. mound visit here for Central Connecticut State. They do have some action in their bullpen. Borghese at 65 pitches. Looks like Mason McCarroll is throwing in the bullpen. And really, after throwing 218 pitches last weekend, again, your guess is as good as mine how long they try to stick with him today. In some ways, you would think there almost is no pitch count today. But it's going to be based on, how he's feeling and how the stuff is. One difference, too, is Ty Head takes a strike. Now, 6-0 Wolfpack. 2 out, bases empty after Woodson cleared him. One thing to think of, too, is this is, of course, an elimination game. So last night, his Head takes a ball high and wide. Last night, they stuck with Drew Munn because they needed him to get deeper in the game and save some of their pitching. As Head rolls one over to the right side, gloved in very shallow right by the second baseman, Redahan, who throws over to first and ends the inning. But in an elimination game, it would be a shorter hook, I think, for Borghese, despite the fact that he is their ace. NC State looking to give Ryan Marone a little more cushion. Boy, did they do that in the fourth. A 4 spot to make it 6-0. A Central Connecticut State error proves to be pretty large. It gives Ryder Woodson a chance to go yard for the first time in his college career. Well, they say you never forget your first home run, but especially in the postseason. Wow. You love to see it. 6-0 Wolfpack, bottom 4th on its way from Learfield.
Together, that's how we stay in the game, ready to play. As one team, UNC Health is keeping you well with renewed focus and approach to care services for you and your family. UNC Health, official healthcare provider of NC State Athletics. Learn more at unchealth.org/sports. Again, that's unchealth.org/sports.
Thousands of our teammates make and deliver 300 of Coca-Cola's brands and flavors locally. From the heartland to the coast, in big cities and small towns, our products are moving and our trucks are rolling. We share a purpose, and we love to refresh and serve our communities. We are Coca-Cola Consolidated, your local bottler.
NC State leads Central Connecticut State 6-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Zach Burhan's back inside the Learfield Network studios, updating you on a few games that have gone final in an elimination game. Going to Athens, Oklahoma State eliminates Binghamton 13-5. Moving on to the Clemson Regional, it's Kentucky downing USC Upstate 7-3. And then one other game goes on, and it's Nebraska eliminating Holy Cross 4-1 in the Chapel Hill Regional. As we head back to the ballpark, here's Andrew Sanders.
Thank you, Zach. The ACC went 7-2 yesterday. Strong showing for the conference. You hear a strike call from home plate umpire Andrew Fulton. 1-1. To the leadoff man, Brady Short. Top of the order for Central Connecticut State. NC State opening up a 6-0 lead here in this elimination game. And Marone fills up the strike zone again. That's always his MO, but especially pitching with a 6-0 lead, even in a hitter-friendly ballpark. That is exactly what you're looking to do, is be aggressive. If they hit it a long ways, tip your cap. Short doesn't hit a long way here. In fact, it's in foul ground. It was hugging the first base line on a bounce, and McHugh into foul ground to glove it. First base umpire Mark Hutchison throws his hands up. It's foul. You're just tuning in. You missed a couple of home runs. A 2-run shot by Alex Sosa. 2-run shot by Ryder Woodson, who gets the start today at third base and immediately supplies some serious power. Left on left here with Short. Marone puts him away with a fastball. Swung on and missed. And Marone with his 4th strikeout. Marone likes to work, again, with tempo, with pace, and staying on top of these hitters and really challenging them. He can pitch a little more freely, although I think he was pitching freely before, as he goes breaking ball, called by Coach Chrysler, to start the sequence to Jackson Haker, the DH. He struck him out swinging the first time these two got acquainted. Working quickly, strike two. Fastball this time. Marone likes to work quickly, too, on a little side hobby of his. He can solve a Rubik's Cube in about 30 seconds, he told me. It's one thing to be able to solve it. 0-2, got him looking. Back to the fastball, he paints it. It's now 3 straight strikeouts for Marone and 5 total on the afternoon. And so far, he has given NC State exactly what it has needed, a quality start. And in case you're wondering, he's gotten 11 outs so far. He's done it on, that's his 45th pitch that misses to Aiden Redahan. So he's been ultra efficient and pitching with the lead. I should mention he's got 2 complete games this year. It might be too early to say that. One of those, admittedly, was a 7-inning contest, a run rule game. You don't have that here. In the postseason of the NCAA tournament, you don't want a game to be shortened. Even if 99 times out of 100 it's over, you got seasons on the line today. You got to finish it out. 2-0 pitch to Redahan. Hits the glove of Sosa. Down and in, ball 3. Redahan, by the way, hitting the high 2s last year, 288. This is not a bad year, but maybe not the guy you would expect to be hitting almost 460 the next year. What an incredible season. The 3-1, he takes the bat off his shoulder and hits it foul, a little late on a fastball. 3-2. And I asked some of the Blue Devil people, I said, what is it? What clicked? And they said, it literally, obviously, if you're hitting 460, you've been hot all year. He said he got in the box game 1 and just felt like everything fell into place. It's been like that all season. The 3-2 pitch, he parries it away. Hits it over towards the parking deck, which is down the left field line, and that's where there's plenty of tailgaters. They're flying Auburn flags and peering over the railings of multiple levels of that parking deck, getting a view of this elimination game. Marone tries again on 3-2. Liner into center. Head was shifted that way towards left center, and he makes the grab on the fly. And after NC State scored 4 in the top half of the 4th, Marone with a quick 1-2-3 bottom half. Marone with 5 strikeouts through 4. His team leads 6-0 from Learfield.
Amedio's has been serving homemade Italian food in the Triangle since 1963. At Amedio's, they use authentic family recipes and fresh ingredients to make classics such as lasagna or oven-baked pizza. Amedio's has a true NC State atmosphere with autographs and memorabilia covering their walls. Amedio's Family Restaurant is a proud supporter of NC State baseball.
Hey, Pack fans, did you know over the past decade, Rebels Turf and Tractor and John Deere have provided turf equipment to maintain the sports fields at NC State? They're pleased to feature new and pre-owned golf and sports turf maintenance equipment. Rebels Turf and Tractor has a location in Myrtle Beach and their home base in Fuquay Varina or RebelsTractor.com. You're now able to provide the same field conditions that the Pack plays on each week with the help of Rebels Turf and Tractor. Rebels Turf and Tractor is proud to support Wolfpack Athletics.
NC State in an elimination game leading 6-0 over the Blue Devils of Central Connecticut State. I mentioned earlier, ACC went 7-2 yesterday. Unfortunately, NC State was one of the 2 ACC teams that did not win. Wake Forest was the other, upset by Cincinnati out of the Big 12. Wake Forest looking like the Deacs are on their way to eliminating Miami of Ohio. You heard scoreboard updates from Zach Burhans, and I'll have another one for you in the bottom of the 6th. But 5-run lead right now for Wake Forest. In the top of the 9th. Should be enough, you would think. And so, as Josh Hogue swings and misses at the first pitch of the 5th inning. Everybody in the ACC looking to at least avoid going 2-Q, as they say. Hogue with a line drive into center field. It'll drop. A walk and 2 hits for Hoagie. Remember, he had the homer yesterday as well. Just a line drive machine. He sets the table here at the top of the 5th. 70 pitches for Vincent Borghese. At times, his slider today has probably been, to me, just my opinion, his best pitch. That has looked really good at times. And he has also gotten barreled up at times. He goes slider, swung on and missed by McHugh. That's what I'm talking about. That was a good slider. And throwing that slider, if you throw a good one, not everybody's capable of it. Borghese obviously is, and his good slider is good enough to induce swing and miss. But you don't throw a good slider every time. Not even, Jacob Duden throws a good slider every time. Ball low, pretty much every time, but sometimes you kind of lose the grip, it'll back up. Sometimes you throw what's called a cement mixer. It does a lot of spin, but it doesn't have a lot of bite. It doesn't have a lot of depth to it. That's what they call it, a cement mixer. You visualize that, right? It just spins around, but it stays in place. 1-1 the count on McHugh. He locates his fastball at the belt for strike 2. They did have someone up and thrown in the bullpen last inning. There's some activity down there, but I would imagine this is Borghese's as long as he can keep NC State off the board. Close pitch and a shake of the head no from Andrew Fulton, our home plate umpire. 2-2. Hogue on first. He has 2 of the 5 hits today for NC State. 2 others have left the yard as McHugh lays off a ball in the dirt. Three and 2. Borghese sets at the chest and fires. There goes Hogue, and a double play ball hit, but they have no play at second because Hogue was off and running. The shortstop short. His only play is to first, and he makes it. And that's why you get Hogue in motion right there. And that would have been a 6-4-3 double play. It was tailor-made right at short, but Hogue able to reach second. And it's just a 6-3 ground out. So Hogue in scoring position for Sosa. So instrumental in NC State's postseason run last year. There's just not that many players that have experienced, playing in Omaha. Just getting there in general, but especially, being in the lineup. He takes ball 1. It was his home run. I think, if memory serves, it was estimated at Georgia like 380. I think it was closer to 480 than 380. That ball was demolished. Sosa trying to hit it 480 here, and he comes up empty. 1-1 on his swing and a miss. He got off speed there and was not guessing that. He hit one 430 over the batter's eye. Back in the first, they got NC State off to a nice start. He wants his teammates to experience what he did last year. Breaking ball stays up, 2-1. Borghese delivers. A little ground ball, gloved it short on a dive deep in the hole. Safe at first. Sosa beats it out. Short saved a run probably on a softly hit ground ball to just keep that in the infield. Hogue has to retreat back to second. And really a great effort by Short to dive to his right. He popped up quickly and actually made it a fairly close play, but it'll be an infield hit for Alex Sosa. And they have still not gotten him out today. A homer, a walk, and now an infield single. 2 on, 1 out for DeCrisio. And now a slow walk out to the mound. And with NC State threatening to open up this 6-0 lead, I think that's going to be all for Borghese. Yes, they will point to the bullpen. Now their plan originally was to throw Borghese until he couldn't go anymore and then bring in Wyatt Cameron, their go-to arm. Talking about 218 pitches last weekend and 2 quality starts for Borghese, who will get a nice hand here from this crowd. Cameron threw in all 4 NEC tournament games for them. He threw on Friday, on Saturday, and twice on Sunday. And in a 6-0 game, I still haven't seen the number. I do believe this is Cameron, though. That was the plan. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we come back. We'll be facing Justin DeCrisio with first and second and 1 out. Indeed, now I can see his number. It is number 6, the right-hander Wyatt Cameron in to pitch as expected for the Blue Devils. 6-0 Wolfpack. Chance to add to it for Justin DeCrisio when we return from Learfield.
Amedio's has been serving homemade Italian food in the Triangle since 1963. At Amedio's, they use authentic family recipes and fresh ingredients to make classics such as lasagna or oven-baked pizza. Amedio's has a true NC State atmosphere with autographs and memorabilia covering their walls. Amedio's Family Restaurant is a proud supporter of NC State baseball.
Thousands of our teammates make and deliver 300 of Coca-Cola's brands and flavors locally. From the heartland to the coast, in big cities and small towns, our products are moving and our trucks are rolling. We share a purpose, and we love to refresh and serve our communities. We are Coca-Cola Consolidated, your local bottler.
NC State leads 6-0, and they are threatening for more. Zach Burhan's back inside the Learfield Network studios, giving you a quick little scoreboard update. One other game has gone final in the Tallahassee Regional Elimination game. Northeastern beats Bethune-Cookman 4-3 with 2 runs in the top of the 9th. In the bottom of the 9th, Miami of Ohio trails Wake Forest 14-11, but the Redhawks have the bases juiced with nobody out. Game not over yet. So we head back to the ballpark. Here's Andrew Sanders.
Oh boy, talk about some drama. Justin DeCrisio takes a first pitch strike out of the right hand of Wyatt Cameron. Right-hander in to pitch for Central Connecticut State. NC State with a 6-0 lead. DeCrisio with 2 on and 1 out. They're on first and second. Takes the ball down and away. 91 out of the right hand of Cameron. So NC State has already gone through their ace, Vincent Borghese. Get you his partial line here in a moment. Of course, he's responsible for both base runners. Now going up against the top bullpen arm. DeCrisio tried to check it, but home plate umpire Andrew Fulton says he went around, and I agree. I think he did. Strike 2. Or pardon me, they've only, yeah, it is strike 2. Okay. Scoreboard hadn't updated it yet. I was like, wait a second. There's ball 2 with the letters of DeCrisio. Borghese with 4 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 6 runs, 3 earned, 4 now. 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. He gave up 2 home runs, 1 to Sosa, 1 to Woodson. Ball in the dirt. Good take by DeCrisio. Ball 3. Cameron sets at the chest and comes home, and not close with a breaking ball. It looked like it slipped out of his hand. It finished way too tall for DeCrisio. Bases loaded. So the bag's full, and Luke Nixon coming up. Luke 0 for 2 so far today. He did have a walk yesterday, but 0 for 4. So looking to get going here in this postseason. Take strike one. Very talented, and a chance to break this game wide open with bases loaded, 1 out. Oh, breaking ball and a high strike given. Quickly 0-2 for Wyatt Cameron. The pitch. High fly ball down the right field line. It'll stay in the ballpark and be caught on the warning track just in fair territory. Plenty deep enough to score Hogue from third. And it's a deep sac fly to make it 7-0 Wolfpack here in the top of the 5th. Well, he got under it a bit. It is an RBI for Nixon. And it's 331 down the right field line. And that ball just kind of died. Breaking ball to Novi, strike one. Been a heavy dosage of breaking ball so far for Cameron, but the fastball has been low 90s. Ball in the dirt. 1-1. Again, Novi homered yesterday. We've seen some freshmen step up, right? Novi yesterday, Woodson today with a home run. Low with the fastball goes Cameron for ball 2. Again, I told you he pitched in all 4 games over the weekend. It was 2 2/3 on Friday, 2 2/3 on Saturday. He got 1 out in their first game on Sunday. There's a strike with fastball 2-2. And then went 4 2/3 later that day. He followed up the 115 pitch performance from Borghese. 2-2 to Novi with 2 on and 2 out. And he locked him up with a breaking ball called strike 3. NC State gets a run, threatens for more, but does add to its lead, 7-0. Now we are halfway through this elimination game. It's been all Wolfpack so far. You're listening to Wolfpack Baseball from Learfield.
Hey, Wolfpack fans, Bojangles is ready for game day. Bojangles, proud sponsor of Wolfpack Baseball, is home of the tailgate meal. 8 pieces of seasoned Cajun fried chicken, 2 picnic-sized fixins, 4 made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuits, and a half a gallon of Bojangles iced tea. Whether it's before or after the game, baseball and Bojangles, a Wolfpack tradition.
Together, that's how we stay in the game, ready to play. As one team, UNC Health is keeping you well with renewed focus and approach to care services for you and your family. UNC Health, official healthcare provider of NC State Athletics. Learn more at unchealth.org/sports. Again, that's unchealth.org/sports.
Ryan Marone with a 7-0 lead here in Auburn in the bottom of the 5th. The scoreboard watching, you heard from Zach Burhans. Wake Forest was up 14-9 in the 9th. It's now 14-13. They did just get a big second out, a pop-up. It was 1st and 3rd with only 1 out. They got an infield pop for the second out, but a double here ends their season facing Miami of Ohio. You talk about an elimination game, and 14 runs might not be enough for Wake Forest. We'll see. Trying to stave off elimination. Keep in mind that ballpark they're in at Tennessee is not a big one. Ball can get out in a hurry. 7-0 Wolfpack here as Ryan Marone starts the inning. Oh, I thought at the knees, maybe just missed. Ball one. 4, 5, and 6 due up. Chris Brown leading off for Central Connecticut State. He is a senior, and he barrels the ball down the left field line. It is tailing foul. It lands about 3/4 of the way up the War Eagle wall, the 37-foot wall in left, but it is foul by a few feet. By the way, he is a senior, so I was thinking about this and pretty confident that he was named before the singer Chris Brown. He was born just before Chris Brown reached pop star status. He's coming to Carter Finley, by the way, this fall. Jam shot from Chris Brown. Off the netting and into the glove of Sosa. I think for the Savannah Bananas that probably counts, but unfortunately it's just a foul ball here. Wake Forest advances on a strikeout. 14-13, they escape Miami of Ohio. So another win for the ACC is Brown with a little jam shot on one, hopped to short. DeCrisio waited on it and had plenty of time to throw out the third baseman of the Blue Devils. Yeah, so as a senior, he would have been born right around 2003, which is a little before Chris Brown reached popularity, right? Yeah. First pitch swinging, the lefty Jaworski hits it to second base on one hop, put away by Luke Nixon. For those of you wondering, because I was trying to think, when did Run It come out? And 2005 is the answer. So that is, I think, when Chris Brown really burst onto the scene. Breaking ball out of the left hand of Marone. A little up on Gianno Merlongi. Ball two. So you name your kid Chris Brown, and then a couple years later, somebody ultra famous with that name. Kind of like, you remember Office Space? Guy's named Michael Bolton. Check swing. He did not go. Ball three. I'm kind of worried about, now international pop star maybe not a worry, but a couple of years ago there was a linebacker at Arkansas who's a really good player named Drew Sanders. There's a strike from Marone. And so I'm a little, it's like I root for him. He's named Drew Sanders, but also I don't want him to get Hall of Fame level popular so that everybody I meet, they say, oh, like the linebacker. Nice. Foul ball, strike two. Zach Burhan's a big Broncos fan, so he's an Andrew Sanders fan and a Drew Sanders fan. Drew Sanders now a linebacker with the Broncos. The same name. Carson Kelly, right? MLB player and NC State player, Carson Kelly. Swinging a foul ball, Merlongi stays alive, 3-2. But that's a good level of famous. Drew Sanders in the NFL or Carson Kelly in MLB, just enough to say, oh, there's someone that has that name, but not internationally known famous. Another 3-2 and another foul ball. Merlongi is battling here with Marone. He has not had to labor a ton. He's just over 60 pitches, and again, he's one strike away from getting through the fifth. And if he can finish here against Merlongi, I mean, he would be ultra efficient to this point. But the right fielder's battling him. Again, the 3-2 and a ground ball foul. It was foul off to the right side, then behind home plate. Now it's foul off to the left side. been all over the place in this at-bat. Marone again from the windup. Line drive, foul, pull. That one, he is getting closer and closer to squaring this up. That one was on a line down the left field line, but certainly foul. I love that they don't have an organist here, but they do pipe in organ music, and it just feels right at the ballpark. Another 3-2. Ground ball, fair territory. Gloved by McHugh. He'll shovel over to Marone, who covers the bag, and he does get through the fifth. A great at-bat by Merlongi, but in the end, 3 ground balls in the fifth for Marone. 7-0 NC State through 5. You're listening to Wolfpack Baseball from Learfield.
At J. Alexander's, every meal brings people together with a focus on food and hospitality. Each aspect, from wood-fired steaks to handcrafted cocktails, is prepared to shape the dining experience. J. Alexander's in Raleigh is a space where friends meet, flavors are enjoyed, and every meal becomes an occasion. Located behind the Crabtree Mall at 4600 Crabtree Valley Avenue.
Hey, Pack fans, did you know over the past decade, Rebels Turf and Tractor and John Deere have provided turf equipment to maintain the sports fields at NC State? They're pleased to feature new and pre-owned golf and sports turf maintenance equipment. Rebels Turf and Tractor has a location in Myrtle Beach and their home base in Fuquay Varina or RebelsTractor.com. You're now able to provide the same field conditions that the Pack plays on each week with the help of Rebels Turf and Tractor. Rebels Turf and Tractor is proud to support Wolfpack Athletics.
Here on the Plains, it is NC State 7, Central Connecticut State nothing. I mentioned this yesterday, but why do they call it on the Plains here at Auburn? Elimination game on the Plains, 7-0 Wolfpack. It is an unofficial nickname of the city of Auburn, and it comes from an old poem by Oliver Goldsmith. The poem is named The Deserted Village, which this place is anything but deserted. They had a record crowd of 7,300 last night to watch Auburn beat Central Connecticut State 9-5. But an old poem. Top of the 6th, beginning here. Braden Fraseman takes strike one, a fastball. But that old poem, The Deserted Village, begins the first line in what's a pretty lengthy poem. First line begins, "Sweet Auburn, the loveliest village of the plain." Breaking ball just off the plate, 1-1 on Fraseman. And so that poem was not written specifically about this city of Auburn here in eastern Alabama, but they have adopted that line, and of the plain turned to on the plains. Strike 2 to Fraseman. And we're here at Plainsman Park on the Plains. Down and away with the fastball goes Wyatt Cameron. Ball 2. The right-hander delivers. Fraseman pulls it. Foul. Coach Hart was already waving his arm around. He was trying to sell that it was fair. It was very close. Third base umpire David Ewell threw his hands up. Would have been extra bases for Fraseman had it been fair. He's 0 for 2 so far today. Had a hit yesterday. Long run for someone out of the Blue Devils dugout to track that down, because the left fielder, Antonio Ducatelli, is basically in left center. A lot of space down that left field line for Fraseman. That's where that ball ended up. 2-2. And Fraseman, a little fooled, out in front of a breaking ball. He pops it up, gloved by the catcher in foul ground. Matt Falk squeezes it. I was starting to talk about Falk earlier, and I think, if memory serves, I didn't quite finish out that story. Just an incredible story. Right, I mentioned that He's a grad student. He had played D3 baseball, but had a year of eligibility left and kind of was discovered by the Blue Devils. Speaking of incredible stories, Ryder Woodson, who homered in his last at-bat to give NC State at the time a 6-0 lead, now a 7-0 lead here at the top of the 6th. What a time for your first collegiate home run. Swing and a miss out in front of a fastball. Maybe a little overeager. He'll kind of circle around the batter's box. Just take his time before getting back in there in an 0-2 count. But Falk was discovered, I'm told, in a men's league. The 0-2, Woodson hits it towards the left center field cap. It's a base hit. See if he tries to stretch it to 2. He'll try it, and the throw's not in time. A head first dive for Ryder Woodson. He's got a homer and now a double. It's his second collegiate double. And if NC State can fight off elimination here, they got the surprise start at third base. They would play the loser of Auburn and Stetson tomorrow. And I think right now it's looking like a good bet that Ryder Woodson will be in the lineup tomorrow, if this team can advance at least one more day. Have a day with 2 hits, 2 extra base hits. Ty Head rolls one over right side of the infield, gloved by the pitcher Cameron, and he'll throw over to first. Second out of the inning. Woodson on that essentially a swinging bunt, able to advance to third. So an RBI opportunity for Josh Hoke here. 2 outs, top of the 6th. Woodson 90 feet away. He's on third. First pitch swinging at a breaking ball and lifts it high in the air to very shallow left center field. Who wants it? It'll be the left fielder Ducatelli who makes the catch. And the inning ends without NC State scoring a run, but we saw a double from Ryder Woodson, who continues to click. Coach Avon pushing the right buttons today, shaking up the lineup. And it's all Wolfpack so far. 7-0 NC State. Ryan Marone has gone through 5 innings already, and he's only at 66 pitches. And pitching with the lead, he will look to continue to be efficient and get deeper and deeper into this game and save the Wolfpack bullpen and try to set up some pitching. But it's a winner or go home situation. So he has given NC State everything it is needed so far, and we'll see if he can keep it up when we come back. 7-0 Wolfpack from Blairfield.
Serving the Raleigh area since the year 2000, Sammy's is a proud NC State tradition. They have great food and a fun atmosphere and are known for their beer selections. Capable of hosting large parties or watching the game with your friends, Sammy's is a great choice for all. They're located between NC State University's main and Centennial campuses on Avon Ferry Road at the Mission Valley Shopping Center.
Thousands of our teammates make and deliver 300 of Coca-Cola's brands and flavors locally. From the heartland to the coast, in big cities and small towns, our products are moving and our trucks are rolling. We share a purpose, and we love to refresh and serve our communities. We are Coca-Cola Consolidated, your local bottler.
NC State leads 7-0 over Central Connecticut State in the bottom of the 6th inning. Zach Burhan's back inside the Learfield Network Studios, updating you on regional play in elimination games. Wake Forest hangs on in Knoxville. They eliminate the Miami Redhawks 14-13. Miami of Ohio scored 4 runs in the 9th, but that would not be enough. Wake Forest also had 3 errors in the game, and they survive. In the top of the 8th inning in Oxford, Ole Miss trying to win and advance. They lead Western Kentucky 8-4, and then going to Hattiesburg, it's the 1-seed Southern Miss team trailing Alabama 5-3 as we head back to the ballpark. Here's Andrew Sanders.
Thank you, Zach. You know, let's talk about that in Hattiesburg and around the country. And I know Like, nobody more disappointed with yesterday than, the players and the coaches, the staff here for NC State, an 11-2 loss against Stetson. And I'm not just trying to shrug my shoulders and say, hey, it happens, right? But the 7-0 lead here, bottom of the sixth. Ryan Marone working against the bottom of the order, 7-8-9. Ducatelli, Gordon, and Falk, and he gets ahead 1-2 quickly on Ducatelli. You do have to take a look nationally. And 4 1-seeds lost yesterday as Ducatelli swings and misses on a ball that bounces into Sosa. He soft tosses over to McHugh. And the strikeout is complete. 6 strikeouts now for Ryan Marone as he continues to carve up what is a very good Blue Devils offense. But 4 seeds won yesterday. And Southern Miss, now they get a 1-2 matchup with Alabama. And as Zach just told you, they're hosting their own regional, and they're in danger of going 0-2. Here's a hot shot on the ground past the dive of Nixon at second base. Kyle Gordon has a 1-out base hit. Well, this will be the 3rd time that Marone has been tested, in that this is a very clean scorebook that I've got going so far. That is the 3rd hit he's allowed, but he has faced the minimum to this point. He got a double play in the 2nd. He picked off a runner in the 3rd. Now, he'll need a double play here to keep facing the minimum, and he might get one. Falk slow rolls it to 2nd. No. Nixon's only play will be to 1st. He could have maybe tried to get to 2nd, but with a 7-0 lead, he made the very smart play. Don't try to get the man at 2nd. Just make sure you get the out. Marone got soft contact on the ground to 2nd, and Falk, the former men's league player that impressed Central Connecticut State and now handles their pitching staff, is the 2nd out of the 6th inning. So unless Marone picks off Gordon off of second base, he likely will have faced more than the minimum. Back to the top of the order, and the Brooks Wallace Award semifinalist Brady Short, the shortstop, who's impressed with the glove so far, takes a strike on a breaking ball. Well, I said Marone just needed to not try to do too much, but man, he has been everything so far today for this team. As Short rolls it over, foul by a foot, first base side before it's gloved by McHugh. It's quickly 0-2. He has been locked in. And yet he'd love to give his team 7, 8, 9 innings, sure, but you can't try to put all that weight on your shoulders in the first. He's just managed this game brilliantly so far. 0-2, a little down and away for a ball. Not a bad 0-2 pitch, though, to see if Short would chase it. Short is 0 for 2 with a flyout and a strikeout. Marone a strike away from finishing the 6th. He's at 75 pitches. His 76th is hit on the ground routinely to Decrecio. He throws in rhythm, and the inning is over. So he has faced more than the minimum, but a 1-out hit does no damage. We have played 6 full innings. It's 7-0 NC State. Looking to extend its season at least one more day. 7th inning on its way from Learfield.
Hey, Pack fans, did you know over the past decade, Rebels Turf and Tractor and John Deere have provided turf equipment to maintain the sports fields at NC State? They're pleased to feature new and pre-owned golf and sports turf maintenance equipment. Rebels Turf and Tractor has a location in Myrtle Beach and their home base in Fuquay Varina or RebelsTractor.com. You're now able to provide the same field conditions that the Pack plays on each week with the help of Rebels Turf and Tractor. Rebels Turf and Tractor is proud to support Wolfpack Athletics.
Together. That's how we stay in the game, ready to play. As one team, UNC Health is keeping you well with renewed focus and approach to care services for you and your family. UNC Health, official healthcare provider of NC State Athletics. Learn more at unchealth.org/sports. Again, that's unchealth.org/sports.
up 7, and after yesterday was a rough one for NC State, down 7-0 immediately. This game has been all Wolfpack so far, and for a team just really needing a jolt, got out to a 2-0 lead. That jolt was provided by Alex Sosa, a 2-run homer in the first. He is on deck here beginning the 7th. McHugh and Sosa and DeCrisio do up. But it has been kind of everything clicking so far. It's 7 runs from the offense through 6 innings. It's 6 shutdown innings from Ryan Marone. And you could say, what more could you ask for from the left-hander? I think they're going to ask for about 30 more pitches as McHugh takes the first pitch of the inning through the old 5.5 hole for a leadoff hit, and now it's bobbled in left. It gets all the way to the War Eagle wall, and McHugh will reach second. That was essentially a ground ball for the left fielder, and Antonio Ducatelli did not play it well. Hit and an error. Well, it works like a leadoff double. That is the second error of the game for the Blue Devils. And Sosa coming up, perhaps with some confidence. I would imagine so. A homer, a walk, and an infield hit. He takes a breaking ball just upstairs for a ball. So he got the scoring started. A 4 spot in the 4th inning and then 1 more in the 5th, accounting for the 7 runs so far. And NC State trying to stay alive and await the loser of tonight's game as he skies one kind of in the Bermuda Triangle in left center, and a diving catch made by Ducatelli, who just made the error. Makes a really good defensive effort there for out number 1. That was a routine pop-up in its trajectory, but where it was hit was kind of in no man's land between the shortstop, the left fielder, and the center fielder. And Ducatelli, boy, he was the only guy that was going to be able to get there, and he came in with a full head of steam. And I'm actually going to put an asterisk next to that. Strike 1 to Justin DeCrisio. Well, they put it up on the board as a ball. I thought it was called strike 1. We'll check on that as this at-bat goes along. The Wolfpack shortstop takes a strike here. I'm sure of it. All right, we'll say 1-1. In case you're wondering, the NC State bullpen is quiet. I was saying, what more could you ask for of Ryan Marone? Just 76 pitches so far as DeCrisio swings and misses. That is strike 2. Okay, so I was incorrect. Now we're ready. 1-2. But 6 innings, 76 pitches. And we've seen Marone be a workhorse at times this season. Not even at time, really pretty much for the whole year. DeCrisio takes ball 2. You know, against Wright State, which, by the way, you see the Raiders nearly beat Vanderbilt. It was controversial in a couple of ways as DeCrisio sprays this foul on the right field line. First of all, it was controversial because there was a is it fair or foul go-ahead home run for Vanderbilt that one umpire called fair, the home plate umpire called foul. But the other controversy was that Wright State had their pitcher throwing a no-hitter, and he was lifted from the game as DeCrisio strikes out swinging. Foul tip for out number 2. It is 7-0 NC State here in the top of the 7th, but after a leadoff hit and an error for McHugh, he's still standing on second. We'll see if Nixon can get him home. But remember, Alex Sogard, who played here at NC State under Coach Avent, he's now the head coach at Wright State. You may remember NC State matched up with the Raiders earlier this year. I was going to talk about Marone because that was his best start of the year. That was kind of leading and dovetailing into my point about Marone as Nixon takes a ball. But the Raiders are the 4 seed in Nashville, and through 6 innings had a no-hitter. They lifted their pitcher. It was their plan to not take him that deep into the game, but hey, he had a no-hitter. and the pitch count was around 75. Ball 2 to Nixon. They took him out, and then Vanderbilt went on to hit the controversial home run and end up winning that game. 2-0 to Nixon. Popped him up. He got the 2-0 fastball. This is the shortstop short. Ooh, almost went in and out of his glove. He did hang on to make the catch. But the reason I was bringing up Wright State in that regard, too, not just the NC State connection with Coach Sogard, but because Marone threw a 9-inning complete game against the Raiders. He threw 126 pitches in that game. So we've seen him have that kind of gas tank. Again, he's only at 76 through 6. Could he have another 50 pitches in him? And if he does, would that be enough to get through the final 3 innings? We will see. But so far, the left-hander is twirling a gem. Time for the stretch. Bottom of the 7th. It is 7-0 NC State from Learfield.
Amedio's has been serving homemade Italian food in the Triangle since 1963. At Amedio's, they use authentic family recipes and fresh ingredients to make classics such as lasagna or oven-baked pizza. Amedio's has a true NC State atmosphere with autographs and memorabilia covering their walls. Amedio's Family Restaurant is a proud supporter of NC State baseball.
Hey, Pack fans, did you know over the past decade, Rebels Turf and Tractor and John Deere have provided turf equipment to maintain the sports fields at NC State? They're pleased to feature new and pre-owned golf and sports turf maintenance equipment. Rebels Turf and Tractor has a location in Myrtle Beach and their home base in Fuquay Arena or RebelsTractor.com. You're now able to provide the same field conditions that the Pack plays on each week with the help of Rebels Turf and Tractor. Rebels Turf and Tractor is proud to support Wolfpack Athletics.
Seventh inning stretch. Wolfpack fans standing here, enjoying this ball game so far. Ryan Marone has been outstanding for NC State. 6 shutout innings so far. Can he keep it going here? Starts with a strike. He has faced one more batter than the minimum, so 2, 3, 4 due up here in the 7th for the Blue Devils. It's just the 3rd time up for Jackson Haker. 1-1, the count on him quickly. I do see there's plenty of guys down there in the NC State bullpen, but nobody's throwing as Marone gets a foul ball. Strike 2. This next pitch will only be his 80th. He's got 2 complete games on the year. He's had some other starts in which he was not that far away. I think, his Cal start was really good. 7 2/3 there as he just misses his spot. 2-2. Just away to Haker, who takes it for a ball. Went 8 innings against Clemson, just 1 run. The pitch. Oh, he went around. Yes, he did, says first base umpire Mark Hutchison. And Sosa slings it around the diamond. They'll go around the horn as Marone strikes out Haker for the 3rd time today. His 7th strikeout. He has been just a pleasure to watch so far today. You think last year, he had a great freshman year. Starts with a breaking ball. He told me coming into the year that the freshman year really exceeded his expectations. He came in with, he was very highly thought of coming out of high school. Is Aiden Redahan, the nation's leading hitter, with a 458 average. He's 0 for 2 today. Pardon me, 459. I don't want to shortchange him. 459. He was 458 yesterday, but he had 2 hits. 0 for 2 against Marone, and it's quickly 0-2 in the count. The pitch hit down the left field line, and it's hit pretty well. It is tailing. It is foul as it lands about 2/3 up the War Eagle wall. Foul by 5 feet or so. But last year, coming in as a freshman, Marone is pretty humble. Like, as highly touted as he was out of high school, he just said, he didn't really think that he was going to factor in. And, of course, the team that ended up in Omaha, the team was really good. He didn't think he was maybe going to have as big of a role as he did, but he really carved out a good role, as a midweek starter for a lot of it, as his breaking ball goes away from Redahan. He only pitched once in the postseason. He came in against Georgia. Breaking ball down, ball 2. So it's not his first taste of postseason baseball, but this is certainly a different situation for him. The 2-2 pitch, and Redahan just lays off a good breaking ball down and away. That was game 2 against Georgia, the game that NC State lost. Fritton started it, and Marone came in there pretty early trying to eat some innings. He did. He gave up 4 runs in 4 innings. So that was just kind of, hey, can you keep us in it? A game NC State lost 11-2. This is, hey, you're starting and the season's on the line. 3-2 to Redahan. Line drive right at Nixon. And the nation's leading hitter hit that one on the nose, but another out recorded for Marone. 2 gone here in the bottom of the 7th. Not so much walk-up music for Chris Brown here, but just T-Pain introducing him. Gotta love that. Good choice by Chris Brown. That ball 1. You got any number of choices. And the first pitch that bounced off the plate, I think it caught Sosa. It did. And so home plate umpire Andrew Fulton is kind of giving him a little bit of time, and he runs out and gives Ryan Marone a new baseball. Sosa seems to be all right. We're ready to go. Cleanup man Chris Brown, the third baseman, takes a strike. 1-1. He's faced just 1 more than the minimum with 7 strikeouts. He is at 90 pitches now, trying to work through the 7th as Brown hits it straight back. Strike 2. Marone a strike away from getting through 7. From the windup, he delivers. Breaking ball, and Brown just got a piece. The 1-2. Hit in the air, right field, towards the line. Frazeman ranging over. He's got it. Inning over. 3 up, 3 down. Ryan Marone through 7. Quality start. Says, give me that. We'll head to the 8th, 7-0 Wolfpack from Learfield.
Together. That's how we stay in the game, ready to play. As one team, UNC Health is keeping you well with renewed focus and approach to care services for you and your family. UNC Health, official healthcare provider of NC State Athletics. Learn more at unchealth.org/sports. Again, that's unchealth.org/sports.
Serving the Raleigh area since the year 2000, Sammy's is a proud NC State tradition. They have great food and a fun atmosphere and are known for their beer selections. Capable of hosting large parties or watching the game with your friends, Sammy's is a great choice for all. They're located between NC State University's main and Centennial campuses on Avon Ferry Road at the Mission Valley Shopping Center.
NC State in control of this one so far, in thanks to the long ball home runs by Alex Sosa and Ryder Woodson, the headlines offensively. But on the other side, Ryan Marone, 7 shutout innings. And if you're scripting how NC State can win this regional, it is not just a one-step process, unfortunately. It's a multi-step process, but it would start with a quality start from Ryan Marone. He has certainly given NC State that, and he's not done yet, folks. He's through 7 scoreless, just over 90 pitches. Brandon Novi takes a strike to begin the 8th. So credit to the offense. Seeing the ball go over the fence a couple of times. 7 runs across. That's usually going to be enough for this pitching staff. 7 runs. Downstairs to Novi, ball 1. 2 runs yesterday. That's usually not going to cut it, right? 7 oftentimes is going to be enough, particularly with the way that Marone is pitching. 7 runs on 8 hits. Novi swings and misses at the breaking ball. 1-2 is the count. Marone has faced just 1 more than the minimum. He's only given up 3 hits, but he's gotten a double play and a pickoff to face just 1 more than the minimum. So he's faced 22 batters through 7 innings. Sharp slider from Cameron, but it's downstairs and Novi takes it for a ball. Cameron, by the way, up over 40 pitches. That's nothing for the reliever. Dots up his fastball. I thought it might have been strike 3, but evidently not. Again, Cameron threw in all 4 games of their tournament. They played 4 games in 3 days, and he was named tournament MVP for that performance. Novi a little late, smacks it foul. And we'll do the pitch over again. Again, there's no run rule in the NCAA tournament. Marone and possibly company are going to need to get 6 more outs. Regardless, as Novi gets hit by a pitch up in the left shoulder, maybe left bicep. I think it was a glancing blow. He'll take his base. That's the worst hit by pitch as a hitter because it's ball 4 regardless. So normally you stand in there and say, okay, I'll get hit and I'll take my base, but it's going to be ball 4 either way. You prefer not to get hit. You're going to get the base either way. But the more painful way for Novi here. Although, again, I think it more glanced off him. Didn't seem to bother him too much. Easy for me to say I didn't get hit by the pitch. Braden Fraseman shoots this into left center field. It's down for a hit. And it's misplayed in center field. Kyle Gordon got turned around. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. Novi got the stop sign at third. And Fraseman ends up on second. We'll see if they call it a double. I don't think Gordon ever touched it. He just got turned around. He was down for a hit, and I think, I don't know if it kicked right on him just a little bit or what. But it works out like a double regardless. And, yes, they will call it a double. I think that's how you got to score that. So good to see Fraseman pick up extra bases. And here's Ryder Woodson. A homer and a double for him today and a 2-for-3 effort so far. Chance to pick up some RBIs here. He'll get at least 1 on a ground ball to short. The shortstop has an errant throw. Woodson will reach on a ball that took the first baseman Jaworski off the bag. It will be an E6, but Ryder Woodson will get an RBI for that because the runner Novi was going to score either way. Fraseman stayed at second on the ground ball to short. So give him a reach on an error. There's still nobody out here in the 8th, and NC State adds to its lead. Reach on an error, but an RBI. And this is going to prompt a mound visit for the Blue Devils. 8-0 Wolfpack, and look, poised to make it more. And you can go ahead and be greedy here offensively. Again, there is no run rule. So unfortunately, you can't shorten the game. You cannot limit the number of outs that Marone is asked to get here, or whoever may come in behind Marone. Because honestly, the way he's pitching right now, and they are going to stick with Cameron, which is no surprise. The way he's pitching right now, 93 pitches through 7. You could say essentially it would feel like the winning run would be on first here if the run rule was in place, because if NC State got to 10, just the way that Marone's pitching, you think that might be enough to end it through 8, and he could get through that 8. But he's going to have to, he or any other NC State pitchers are going to have to get 6 outs. But in an elimination game, you can be greedy. You can never have enough runs, right? Bunt shown, pulled away by Ty Head. And speaking of, never having enough runs, Ty Head has swung it well today. I know he's been 0 for 4, but I think he has swung it well. I would be surprised if he was not bunting here. He does square early, drops it down foul. And maybe trying to be a little too perfect there. You don't have to place it, for a hit down the third baseline. There is some level of bunting is an art, right? You can't just bunt it right back at the pitcher, or else you got the force play at third. So you don't want to be too perfect here, too precise, but you do have to put it down, and Head puts down a perfect bunt to third here. Only one play. That's to throw to first, and Head was hustling to put some pressure on the third baseman, Chris Brown. He does his job, the sacrifice. That moves both runners over, so Frazeman to third, Woodson to second, and you give Josh Hogue a chance. And look, Hogue has 2 hits and a walk and 2 runs scored today. A chance for a Hogue to knock him in with another hit here. Ball 1 staying away from the lefty. And, talking about being greedy and trying to get more runs, and with the way that Marone has pitched so far, you probably don't need those, but you can never have enough. But there's also another thing at play. Is Hogue grounds it up the middle, short, makes the play. Charged it in front of second base and had to really be athletic to pick that one up near his shoestrings. It'll be an RBI ground out, 6-3 off the bat of Hogue, so he doesn't get both in there, but he does knock in Frazeman, and he gets Woodson to third. That's a good, productive out. Both Head and Hogue doing their jobs. That makes it 9-0 NC State. 2 across in this inning, and still a chance for McHugh. So Woodson at third, and the 3-hole hitter sees a good breaking ball for strike 1. All the Auburn fans here, of course, are rooting for Central Connecticut State, but they haven't had much to root for today, as well as Marone has pitched, as McHugh sprays a pop-up foul and out of play down the right side. This has been a complete performance so far for the Wolfpack. And again, this is a Central Connecticut State team that gave Auburn some issues last night. McHugh grounds one on 2 hops directly to short, and he makes the play. So a couple more runs across for NC State, a little more run support. Marone will be coming back out. Central Connecticut State was always in the game last night, and they've thrown their best 2 pitchers tonight. So encouraging signs from NC State to this point. We'll see if Marone can keep it up. 9-0 now. Wolfpack, bottom 8th, on its way from Learfield.
Thousands of our teammates make and deliver 300 of Coca-Cola's brands and flavors locally. From the heartland to the coast, in big cities and small towns, our products are moving and our trucks are rolling. We share a purpose, and we love to refresh and serve our communities. We are Coca-Cola Consolidated, your local bottler.
Hey, Wolfpack fans, Bojangles is ready for game day. Bojangles, proud sponsor of Wolfpack Baseball, is home of the tailgate meal. 8 pieces of seasoned Cajun fried chicken, 2 picnic-sized fixins, 4 made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuits, and a half a gallon of Bojangles iced tea. Whether it's before or after the game, baseball and Bojangles, a Wolfpack tradition.
NC State leads Central Connecticut State 9-0 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Zach Burhan's back inside the Learfield Network studios, updating you on a few elimination games going around the country. In the Oxford Regional, host Ole Miss trying to evade elimination. They are 2 outs away from doing so. They lead Western Kentucky 8-4 in the bottom of the 9th. Another team hosting the regional in elimination, Southern Miss and Alabama in Hattiesburg. And it's Southern Miss trailing 5-4, and just like that, it's a 2-run homer, and it's now 6-5 Southern Miss in the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs. And in the Eugene Regional, it's Oregon leading Cal Poly 8-5 in the 7th. As we head back to the ballpark, here's Andrew Sanders.
Zach Burhan's breaking news here in the scoreboard update. Man, it was a 5-4 lead for Bama, and all of a sudden Southern Miss said, hey, we're hosting here for a reason. It's a big go-ahead home run, huh? Trying not to go 2-Q, as they say. Ryan Marone here in the 8th gives up a foul ball. 1-1 the count on Bo Jaworski. Bo is 0 for 7 so far here in this regional. Bo from Brooklyn. They say 2-Q, 2 in barbecue. Yeah, Alabama has barbecue too, not as renowned, obviously, of course, back home. I do want to get my hands on some Alabama barbecue just to take some notes, just for science. Jaworski shoots it in the left center field gap, long run, and Head won't get there, neither will Fraisman. Jaworski trying to take a second base. He'll test Head's arm, and he'll get there. Well, there's his first hit of this regional. It's just the 4th hit allowed by Marone. 9-0 Wolfpack here in the bottom of the 8th. That is the first extra base hit for the Blue Devils, and just their second extra base hit. Keep in mind, I mentioned this earlier, but for those of you that maybe weren't listening then, they had 14 hits yesterday against Auburn, and Auburn threw some guys. It wasn't like Auburn was saving a ton of pitching, although they didn't throw who you could call, quote-unquote, their ace, Dutton, but he's been starting game 2s for them anyways. They threw the guy with the best stuff, Cam Tilley. He only lasted an inning. They chased him quickly as Marone misses downstairs against the 6-hole hitter, Merlongi, and Sosa quickly out for a word because, all right, you give up a leadoff double, and falling behind a hitter, Marone is at 98 pitches. You would think he's got some more gas in the tank, but I think a great visit by Sosa. He really hasn't had any reason to go out there all day today, as great as Marone has been. So just give him a second, refocus. Hey, you're still pitching with a nine-run lead. Just pound the zone. He misses up, ball 2. He hasn't really been behind hitters all day, as you might imagine, for those of you just tuning in. Like I said, 14 hits yesterday for the Blue Devils, but just 1 extra base hit. 4 hits today, just 1 extra base hit. The 2-0 is a base hit through the right side. This will not score a run. They'll be on the corners. And what the Blue Devils need is base runners. So Marone has given up back-to-back hits, and he is at 100 pitches, and this is the first time that Central Connecticut State has really seemed to be seeing him well, but it helps when he's behind in the count, which, again, hasn't really happened. He is towards the bottom of the order here, and obviously I couldn't hear what Alex Sosa said in that mound visit, but I would imagine something along the lines of, like, it's a 9-0 lead. Look, you'd love to throw a complete game shutout, but that's not what's important here. What's important is just getting these outs, and if you give up a run or 2 in the process, it is going to be okay. Pitch at the knees, calling the ball, and it's 1-0 on Antonio Ducatelli, the left-handed batting left fielder. So the Blue Devil offense starting to awaken here. Sosa will step out in front of home plate and go through the signs just to see how NC State wants to play this. What they'd like to do is turn 2, which they have done once already today. Ducatelli sees it down and away for ball 2. I would imagine somewhere in the neighborhood of 120. Again, we've seen 126 from Marone. Here comes Coach Avon making a walk out to the mound. There's nobody throwing in the NC State bullpen. So Sosa came in forward, and oftentimes you do not see Coach Avon making mound visits. He will from time to time, but oftentimes it'll be Coach Chrysler. And so it's an opportunity for him, obviously, to talk to Marone, but also the whole infield as well. And look, you're in about as ideal of a position as you can be in, leading 9-0. It's not a long conversation. Coach got out there and was maybe only out there for 10, 15 seconds actually on the mound. And again, oh, well, now I do see there is a little catch being played out in the bullpen. I can't see who that is, but I do see a ball kind of getting thrown back and forth, just some light catch. But again, I would think at 102 pitches, Marone probably has at least another 15, 20 in him. And he gets back to throwing strikes. His first offering to Ducatelli. The 2-1 almost hit him inside ball 3. That's the one thing you can't do if you're Marone is give up free bases. See if the Blue Devils can hit it. If they can, tip your cap as the 3-1 pitch is hit foul for strike 2. There's still nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th, and the first bit of adversity for Marone. Sometimes it's the pitch count. 105 pitches some days is very different than 105 pitches other days. It's been an easy day so far. The 3-2, he struck him out. Elevated the fastball, and Ducatelli swings and misses. 8 strikeouts for Ryan Marone, and the first out here in the 8th. Lewis Jordan is going to pinch hit here for Kyle Gordon. So Jordan for Gordon. And the right-handed batter making his postseason debut. Jordan hitting .368 this year. I mean, who isn't? Again, as a team, they hit .331. In 18 appearances. Pick off. Oh, he almost got him at first. He had him leaning. Merlongi, that's the last thing you can do as a base runner is get picked off in a 9-run game. That's how good the move is for Marone. Merlongi was not that far away from the base, but he thought Marone was coming home. He almost picked off another base runner on the corners here, 1 out. And the pinch hitter takes a strike. Lewis Jordan. I was told by some of the locals here, I've always called it Jordan Hare Stadium, which is just behind the third base dugout. I was told it's pronounced Jordan here, Jordan Hare. That's what the locals told me. And I watch it on TV, Jordan Hare Stadium, home of Auburn football. I had never heard that pronunciation before. For Lewis Jordan at the plate, he is not on the pronunciation guide, so I'm going to assume his name is pronounced Jordan, not Jordan. Ball 1 out of left hand of Marone. From the stretch, Marone sets at the belt and fires. Swing and a miss, strike 2. As a broadcaster, pronunciation is always important, and especially how the locals pronounce it. The town next door is pronounced Opelika, as I understand. Marone delivers. He beat him with a fastball. Back-to-back strikeouts. Marone buckles down and gets outnumbered 2 here in the 8th. Nine strikeouts. If you're wondering, and I mentioned his high pitch count was 126 against Wright State. He had 14 strikeouts in that game. That's his career high. 9 today. And the 9-hole hitter, Matt Falk, takes breaking ball, strike 1. The former D3 and then men's league player. How good do you have to be in a men's league to get D1 attention? Breaking ball away, ball 1. Thought he had a great at-bat watching their game last night. He had a 2-out hit to drive in a couple against Auburn last night. The 1-1, high ball 2. Although on a team in which everybody, it feels like, is not just hitting 300 but hitting way over it, he is the 9-hole hitter for a reason. He's batting .269 on the year. But again, just the eye test, watching his ABs, he can handle the bat. He is 0 for 2 against Marone. 2-1 pitch. Beat him with the fastball, strike 2. And as Marone has now thrown 114 pitches, it feels like here in this 8th inning, when he's needed at most, he's had a little extra juice. That fastball has gotten better and better. He struck out 2 in a row. Can he get a third? Yes, he can. Fastball swung on and missed. Marone gets out of trouble with 3 straight strikeouts. He is through 8 shutout innings. 9-0 Wolfpack. We'll go to the top of the 9th. This is Pac-9 Baseball from Learfield.
Hey, Pac fans, did you know over the past decade, Rebels Turf and Tractor and John Deere have provided turf equipment to maintain the sports fields at NC State? They're pleased to feature new and pre-owned golf and sports turf maintenance equipment. Rebels Turf and Tractor has a location in Myrtle Beach and their home base in Fuquay Arena or RebelsTractor.com. You're now able to provide the same field conditions that the Pac plays on each week with the help of Rebels Turf and Tractor. Rebels Turf and Tractor is proud to support Wolfpack Athletics.
Together. That's how we stay in the game, ready to play. As one team, UNC Health is keeping you well with renewed focus and approach to care services for you and your family. UNC Health, official healthcare provider of NC State Athletics. Learn more at unchealth.org/sports. Again, that's unchealth.org/sports.
Ryan Marone, the story in this elimination game here in Auburn. And you knew coming in that if NC State was going to have a chance to win today, he would probably have to be a big piece of that story. But certainly, without question, if NC State is going to win 4 games in 3 days and win this Auburn regional, to have any chance, he would have to be a big story. He has been the headliner of this game. He has gone 8 shutout innings. And now I think Coach Avent has a decision to make. Now, Marone has thrown 115 pitches. And again, his career high is 126. So he's gone this far before. And in postseason, usually you can extend a guy a little further. He's been a workhorse. And because it's a 9-0 lead for NC State here in the top of the 9th, at least, the Pac is the away team, so they'll bat here first. There is a new pitcher on the mound. It is the lefty that was warming up a couple of innings ago. Mason McCarroll is the new pitcher. So the lead is going to be at least 9 for Marone. And I made this point earlier. So the score, you have plenty of breathing room. So why wouldn't you throw him back out there? It is the top of the order coming up, 4th time through for Central Connecticut State, but it does make a difference. It really does make a difference. This might not be the best analogy, but think about putting, I don't know, a mile on your car's odometer, for instance, as Sosa takes ball 1 to start the inning. If you are just cruising, on cruise control, going the speed limit on the highway, that's an easy mile on your car. If you are in stop and go traffic, or you're punching the pedal every light, but you're catching every red light, that's a lot more taxing on your car to go 1 mile that way. I don't know if this is the best analogy. I think you see where I'm going, though. Not every pitch count is the same. The 2-0 pitch is popped up and out of play by Sosa. And today's pitch count for Marone, he really hasn't had any trouble at all until the last inning. And so he had to reach back for a little extra after giving up a double and a single to start the 8th. And he had plenty in the tank. He struck out 3 in a row. Sosa sees it up high, ball 3. So he's no longer faced just 1 more than the minimum. He's faced only 3 more than the minimum. And Sosa draws a 5-pitch walk. His 4th time on base today, and his 2nd time leading off an inning with a walk. He has been locked in today. And you need your best players. When your back's against the wall and the season's on the line, you need your best players to be at their best. I think Sosa and Marone would certainly qualify, and the battery has been excellent. DeCricio's turn now. And he is promptly hit on the first pitch that he sees, turned away from it. And a couple of free base runners. And again, all the more impressive to this point. NC State needs 3 outs. All the more impressive because, again, Central Connecticut State gave Auburn some trouble last night. And it was not with no disrespect to the guys that did throw for them, but Borghese and Cameron are their best of the best. They're ace, starter, and reliever. We're going to get a mound visit here as Mason McCarroll again goes walk and then immediate hit by pitch. And I was making this point earlier. I am seeing Camden Wimbish and Tristan Potts jog down to the NC State bullpen. But they're just now jogging down. What that tells me is that one or both of them might be ready to go if necessary, but the fact that they're not already down there and maybe already getting loose a little bit tells me that they're going to look to Marone to just finish this thing. Luke Nixon will be the batter. They are sticking with McCarroll here, to no surprise. Nixon looking to at least get the runners over. They're not bunting him here. I was making this point earlier, 9-0. Even though NC State probably doesn't need any more runs in this game, again, you're thinking about the future of this weekend, trying to get everybody going. Luke Nixon gets going here. Deep fly ball, right field, into the bullpen. Luke Nixon kisses that ball goodbye. A 3-run homer to make it 12-0. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Get this offense going. The 3rd home run today for the Wolfpack. Nixon joins Sosa and Woodson in the home run party. A left-on-left home run, and they're going to come and get McCarroll. They tried to throw the lefty in this part of the order. Sosa, DeCricio, Nixon with 2 lefties, but walk, hit batter, and then 3-run bomb. Luke Nixon's first home run since he homered back in his hometown of Wilmington in the midweek game back in early May. 12-0 Wolfpack looking to put the finishing touches on an elimination game. Central Connecticut State will make a call in the bullpen, and we'll go to commercial break. 12-0 Wolfpack. Nobody out. Top 9 from Learfield.
Together, that's how we stay in the game, ready to play. As one team, UNC Health is keeping you well with renewed focus and approach to care services for you and your family. UNC Health, official healthcare provider of NC State Athletics. Learn more at unchealth.org/sports. Again, that's unchealth.org/sports.
Hey, Wolfpack fans! Bojangles is ready for game day. Bojangles, proud sponsor of Wolfpack Baseball, is home of the tailgate meal. 8 pieces of seasoned Cajun fried chicken, 2 picnic-sized fixins, 4 made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuits, and a half a gallon of Bojangles iced tea. Whether it's before or after the game, baseball and Bojangles, a Wolfpack tradition.
Central Connecticut State making a call to the bullpen, and they'll go to junior right-hander Nick Murphy up next. He has been one of their better arms this year. Luke Nixon with a 3-run shot into the bullpen. It was only 358 according to the TrackMan data. And so I'm not sure if that ball gets out of every ballpark. But again, this is a hitter-friendly ballpark, and that's a big one for Luke Nixon, because it's his first hit here in Auburn. And if he can get hot again, Sosa homering today, if he can get hot, when you're getting contributions from some of your headline hitters, and then, right, Brandon Novy, who's up now, he homered yesterday. Ryder Woodson homered today. Hitting is contagious, and when you get everybody kind of pulling in the same direction and really starting to feel it, this is an NC State team. How would it respond after losing game 1? The response is about as good as you could possibly ask for, leading 12-0 here. Murphy bounces it in to Novy, a ball and a strike. One away, ball 2. I mentioned earlier, Austin Fort out in concussion protocol. He took a line drive in practice, unfortunately. And so Novy against either righties or lefties, he's going to be the DH for their foreseeable future. He bounces it to third on one hop, and Chris Brown throws him out. One gone. I still don't see anybody throwing in the NC State bullpen, so yeah, I think my suspicions are correct. Marone will look to close out the game in the 9th. And that's what you need. You need to come out of the loser's bracket. You need at least one performance like that, where you don't throw any relievers, or you only have to throw somebody maybe an inning or 2. Fraisman pops it up in the infield to Brown at third. He almost overran it, but took a couple of frantic steps backward to make the catch for out number 2. Now, in a 12-0 game with 2 outs in the top of the 9th, you say, well, this isn't a bat that doesn't have, it might not matter all that much, but I would disagree with you. This is in a bat for Ryder Woodson, and all he's done today is homer and double. He's also reached on an error. He takes a breaking ball down and away for ball 1. This is a very valuable AB for the freshman. They're all important, especially because he hasn't had a ton on the year. Fastball away, ball 2. In fact, he came into today with just 16 at-bats on the year. Now, that doesn't mean he's not getting better, in the cages, in practice. Murphy spots him a fastball down and in for a strike. Also, when, sometimes pitchers are throwing live ABs, like for Shane Van Dam. That's part of his recovery. Before you ever saw him in a game, he's cleared, okay, he can throw live ABs. It's guys like Novi or Woodson taking those hacks. Woodson skies this to deep right center, but just shy of the track. It'll end up with the glove of Kyle Gordon. And a long fly out ends the inning. Man, he's been impressive today. 2 extra base hits, a deep fly there, the opposite field. But it will end at the ninth. 12-0 our score. And I thought that Ryan Marone might come out, but no, it looks like we've got a new pitcher jogging in. Tristan Potts will look to finish this thing out. I had not seen him throwing in that bullpen, but we are obscured, to be fair, from most of that bullpen. So Marone is done after a near immaculate 8 innings, scoreless baseball with 10 strikeouts, and he will give the ball to the bullpen just 3 outs away from ending Central Connecticut State's season and extending NC State season at least one more day. Back in a moment from Learfield.
Amedio's has been serving homemade Italian food in the Triangle since 1963. At Amedio's, they use authentic family recipes and fresh ingredients to make classics such as lasagna or oven-baked pizza. Amedio's has a true NC State atmosphere with autographs and memorabilia covering their walls. Amedio's Family Restaurant is a proud supporter of NC State baseball.
Thousands of our teammates make and deliver 300 of Coca-Cola's brands and flavors locally. From the heartland to the coast, in big cities and small towns, our products are moving and our trucks are rolling. We share a purpose, and we love to refresh and serve our communities. We are Coca-Cola Consolidated, your local bottler.
$12-0 NC State, bottom of the 9th inning, and a new pitcher on the mound for the first time today. Ryan Marone, what else can you say about this sophomore southpaw? He gave NC State everything it needed today and then some. 8 innings, 5 hits, no runs, no walks, 10 strikeouts on 115 pitches. And he was at his best in the 8th inning after facing really his first bit of trouble. After giving up back-to-back hits to start the 8th, now on the corners, nobody out. He struck out the bottom of the order to finish the 8th. Tristan Potts into pitch, and a defensive replacement. Josh Hogue replaced by Jed Gilliam in left field, which is a replacement we've seen quite a bit this year. And Potts fires in a slurve, strike one to the top of the order. Brady Short, the shortstop. Now, we did see Potts yesterday. He recorded 2 outs. He threw 19 pitches. We saw a number of pitchers yesterday, 8 of them, in fact, for NC State. Fritton and Nance, Van Dam and Kelly, Lucas and Potts, and Smith and Wimbish in that order. 1-1, hit foul, strike 2. So I think this will be Potts' inning. And so you might say, well, I'm surprised to see someone that did throw yesterday. But especially like the matchup lefty, which Potts has kind of developed into. The 1-2 pitch is hit foul. We'll do it over again. With that being said, you know who didn't pitch yesterday? Cooper Consiglio, and I think they would maybe bring him in, obviously in a matchup situation in a future game if need be. NC State 3 outs away from reaching that future game, which would be tomorrow afternoon against the loser of Stetson Auburn. Ooh, close pitch. Just outside. So if NC State can advance, honestly, they would have a bit of an advantage. It's a late game tonight between those two. Popped him up, right side foul ground. McHugh and Nixon running over, It comes back into fair territory, and Nixon makes the catch to render it moot. But, man, it looked like that was going to be foul all the way. McHugh was way out there in foul ground, and all of a sudden Nixon had to backtrack back into fair play. Short is out on a P4. But the game tonight, in the winner's bracket game, it's going to be electric atmosphere. That game tonight, 8 o'clock local, so 9 o'clock Eastern. Swing and a miss. So the loser of that game, this is the 2-hole hitter, the DH Jackson Haker. The loser of that game is not going to get to bed. I mean, even if it's an average length game, they're not going to be, showered and back to the hotel and in bed till what? 1 o'clock? You have press conferences afterwards, etc. 1 and 1. And this is where I made the point yesterday that if you're going to go 1 and 1, it is actually beneficial to lose the first. There's really no difference. The team that's 2-0 is in the driver's seat. No doubt. Those teams win about 82% of regionals historically. There's still about 1 in 5 chance that they don't. And a start like Ryan Marone's gives NC State some life. Potts gets a swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. So NC State, if Potts can get these last 2 outs, it's 4:45 local time. You can be much better rested before tomorrow's game. Bounces it in there, ball 3. That game would be at 2 o'clock local, 3 o'clock Eastern tomorrow. So it's not like it's an early game, but still, if you don't get into, back to the hotel till midnight, 1 o'clock, depending on how long the game goes. 3-2, he walked him. Not what Potts was trying to do there. And I think part of the reason he's in there, too, is because Potts is a guy that really pounds the zone. That's just his second walk issued for the whole season. This is his 10th appearance, although, he's thrown less than 10 innings, to be fair. Still just a second walk. And being well rested going into tomorrow, or as well rested as you can be, is vital. Potts is not sure where that pitch missed. He's almost he's not trying to show up the umpire, but just reading his body language, he was kind of confused, like, where did I miss here? This is the nation's leading hitter, Aiden Redahan, the senior. What a senior year he's had to remember. Well, he gets ahead 2-0. Likely what is his final collegiate at bat. 2-0. Line drive, base hit. Right up the middle and into center field. And for Redahan, and I would be shocked if some team didn't at least give him a look. When you lead the country in hitting, you're batting about 460. Somebody should at least, if they're not going to draft you, at least sign you and get you to camp and see what's going on. How do you hit 460 in college? But if that is his last collegiate at bat, I think he'll get a pro at bat or two. But if that is his last collegiate at bat, one to remember for him. He barrels up a ball into center. 12-0 Wolfpack here. Bottom of the 9th. 2 on, 1 out for the cleanup man, Chris Brown. Ground ball to short, not hit very hard. DeCrisio charges, gets his Nixon for 1. The throw to first is not in time. A big stretch from McHugh, but Brown able to beat it out. Haker to third. Redahan is out, 6-4 on the fielder's choice for the second out in the 9th. Great hustle by Chris Brown to extend this ball game at least one more batter and extend this season at least one more batter. This is going to be a pinch hitter. And I cannot see the number of this pinch hitter. Potts starts him with a strike. This is Jaworski's spot. This is Ryan Shalaba. As Potts fires downstairs for a ball. junior right-handed batter Ryan Shalaba getting an opportunity here. Last hope for the Blue Devils. With runners on the corners, 2 out. Shalaba pops it up. In foul ground, it's McHugh. He makes the catch. Potts pumps his fist, and the ball game is over. NC State survives an elimination game on the strength of 3 home runs and a gem from Ryan Marone. 8 shutout innings for Marone. Potts finishes the job, and it's a 12-0 win for the Wolfpack to advance to tomorrow. They will play the loser of Auburn and Stetson in their game tonight. And a tip of the cap to Central Connecticut State in what was a phenomenal season. They do have a habit of making the postseason every odd-numbered year. They've done it 5 times in a row. And the champions of the NEC go 0-2 here in Auburn, but a great program coached by Charlie Hickey in his 26th season, and the second time that these two teams in a regional together, but the first time they ever meet on the diamond. It was all Wolfpack today, and you wonder how would this team respond after such a disappointing game yesterday where they fell behind 7-0 immediately